We welcome you to Manama for game day 3 of the qualifying campaign for the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup. In this Group F contest, Bahrain welcomes Syria to Khalifa Sport City. Two teams locked level in the group at 1-1, so a pivotal matchup tonight to take us to the midway point of this campaign. Bahrain hoping this crowd here in the nation's capital can be their 6th man tonight. The other game in this group has just recently got underway. United Arab Emirates hosting Lebanon. Game day 4 taking place on Monday, with only the top 2 getting a guaranteed ticket to next year's continental showpiece. It's looking like either Bahrain or Syria, with the team finishing 3rd having to play in another qualification tournament, where 4 of the 6 third-place teams also advance to the main event. Syria, the away team here, being quickly introduced at the start. They're led by Facundo Petrazzi, an Argentine head coach who took over at the start of this campaign. Bahrain coming in, Devon Chisholm there, crucial for them, averaging 12 points, 13 rebounds, 2.5 offensive rebounds, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. And then a pair of 22-year-old talents in Mustafa Rashid, who can be a real sharpshooter, and Muzamil Hamouda, an athletic scorer. There is Mustafa Rashid, averaging a tournament 3rd best, 23 points per game, as well as 4.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Muzamil Hamouda will play in this campaign for the first time, and Jad El Hajj on the bench for the first time after a mid-season switch from Lebanon. Passionate Bahraini national anthem before the world number 67 team gets set to take on the world number 72. Two teams so far in this campaign level at 1 win each. Both of these two played the other 2 teams in the group in the first 2 games, so the numbers do have value. Syria shooting the ball much better in those games in February than Bahrain. 53% from 2, 36% from 3, 77% at the line. Bahrain just 46, 25 and 70. As a result, Syria putting up 11.5 more points a game at 78 on average, with Bahrain scoring only 66.5. Syria also moving the ball for 18 assists a game with 12 turnovers. Bahrain, on the other hand, almost as many turnovers as assists. And there was a big advantage for Syria in points in the paint as well, 39-24. We'll see if home field advantage can help Bahrain bridge those gaps here this evening. We'll find out your starting fives in just a moment as well. Nadim Issa key for Syria, averaging 12 points, 1 steal so far. At a team-high 15 points per game in last year's Olympic pre-qualifying tournament. Amari Hardy, wearing the number 7, is their naturalized player for this window. Born in Detroit, he's taking the place of the previous naturalized player, Javion Blake, who produced a team-high 23.5 points per game. Some big sneakers to fill for the point guard Hardy. Facundo Patrazzi, also a trained lawyer, the head coach of Syria. Jad Al-Hajj on the Bahraini bench. He's made that shock switch from a successful tenure with Lebanon, winning silver at the last Asia Cup, saying he felt the need for a new challenge outside his country. Now becomes head coach and also technical director for Bahrain. Hardy will play in this campaign for the first time. There's the 7'3", or 2 meters 20 if you prefer, Abdul Wahab. Bahraini team in this program that is now led by Jad Al-Hajj. Only 6 players in the tournament averaged at least 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists the first window. Mosti Rached was the youngest of all of them. Both of these nations so far losing to Lebanon, but beating the United Arab Emirates. The shape of this group seems somewhat predictable. Only 2 games out of 6 played, but the leaders and the bottom-placed teams look a lock for now. In the middle, though, these two, with tonight's game here in Manama, the Bahraini capital, and February's meeting in Syria, set to separate them and decide who takes a guaranteed ticket to next summer's FIBA Asia Cup. For these two teams, a huge game at Khalifa Sports City tonight. Before the game, respect being paid, admirably so, to the FIBA Asia Secretary Emeritus Dato Yeochu Hock, who sadly passed away recently, a man who made such a significant contribution to the game, particularly on this continent. So Syria the first possession into the hands of Hardy, a new naturalised player for this window. Michel Son, who has Syrian descent, the number 10, flipped up and tipped in, and everybody getting involved in the first offence for Syria. Tip good for Atli. He's produced that all-round superb stat line so far. Disrupting in the passing lane, Hardy with the quick hands. Held up in transition, gets it back. Amari Hardy, the 188, 26-year-old point guard. Syria looking for the first couple of scores. The handle dropped. And Chisholm in the way of the second attempt to get to the basket. Three-point shot short for Maitam Issa, who's having a tough time so far in this campaign. Turnover, back and forth, and an unsportsmanlike foul has been called, with Azam trying to run the floor, being held back by Abdallah. And after it looked as though Bahrain had given the ball back to Syria, instead they give away 2 free throws and possession. Subat Azam, playing in this competition for the first time, splits the pair. 30-year-old 190 power forward. Bahrain have their first point. Chisholm averaging the double-double, hands off to Hadji. Plenty of movement in the Bahraini offense as well. Shot clock winding down to the final few ticks though. Off-balance attempt, off the mark from Ahmed Hadji. Hardy splits a couple of defenders over the top of Chisholm. It's good, positive start in the Syria jersey for Amari Hardy. No field goals in 2 minutes for Bahrain. And a turnover again. Long pass down the floor. It's Michel Son. Chisholm doing his best to protect his basket. Still Syria possession. With Abdallah looking to crash the glass again. Michel Son. Lots of off-ball movement. Out of bounds though this time. Off Syrian fingertips. Turnover on Bilal Atli. Bahrain 0 of 2 from the field so far, and a couple of turnovers. Can they improve on this trip down the floor? Nice fake on the 3, pass back out, passing up the good look from 2 to upgrade to a triple. Bahrain level as Hadji hits from the corner. Deep 3-point shot, Michel Son, and he puts it in. Andre Michel Son from several feet back. The first window, he shot 83% from 2, but only 27% from 3. Made only 3 out of 11. That time the freedom of the paint for Bahrain to put it in through Azam. So that 3 from Michel Son separates the two sides right now. Turnover Syria, chance for Bahrain to take the lead for the first time, and they'll have to do it from the foul line. As Maitam Issa goes crashing through the chairs behind the basket, fouled by Atli. Maitam Issa at the line has only been averaging 6.5 points in 22.5 minutes so far. Only shooting 1 of 6 from 2 and 1 of 11 from 3 in the first window. He's perfect from the stripe though, and he can be a key scorer at the Asia Cup. Last time out, he averaged 14.3 points per game. Shot 53% from the perimeter. 3.7 rebounds, 3.7 assists as well. Michelson feeling it early on. Back-to-back big hits from downtown from Andre Michelson. Syria by 2. He's got 6 points in a flash. Three-point shot for Bahrain to take the lead. And it's Hadji who's 2 of 2. Hardy blocked as well. The block from Azam. Syria will come again through the hot hands of Michelson. Has to pass it on this time, having been stuck tight to on the perimeter. And a foul on Bahrain there first. Intriguingly here, Bahrain with 11 points now after the slow start. And Mustafa Rashid is yet to take a shot. The third top scorer across the whole of this competition. He's played every second so far. But the points have come from elsewhere. Hadji, 2 of 2 from the outside for 6 points. Azam with 3. Couple for Issa. Level at 11 between these two teams, level at 1-1 in the standings so far. Actually, the positive start passes on this time. It's another 3-point shot behind the screen, creating a bit of breathing room, and that is all Bahrain need from downtown right now. Maidham Issa rediscovering his range. Positive attack through the paint to pick up the points for Christian Moran. Moran playing for the first time in this campaign, coming in off the bench. Chisholm for 3, too long. Hardy pulls it back for a 3-pointer. Chisholm the rebound. He's averaging 13 of them a game. Nice bounce pass. No look pass to the far side again, and another 3 short this time. Hardy fast down the floor. Michelson from several feet back again, misses this one. Those 3-point shooters looking to unload all of their ammunition, starting to misfire. Oh, nice play, beautiful team basketball from Bahrain. The flash and the finish and the 3-point advantage. Corner 3 for the tie. They're not going down. Chisholm keeps on gobbling up the rebounds. Fight for possession. They'll knock it out of bounds. Still Bahrain ball. Still, Rashid, Mustafa, to use his full name, yet to take a shot. Yet Bahrain have 16 points in 6 and a bit minutes. Chisholm only has 2 points. They've just arrived with that beautiful team play. Chisholm looking for the handoff this time. Gets it back. back. Nice play again. And the cram jam for Chisholm. And Bahrain in full flow and flying high, lead by 5. An 18-point period already, in which their top scorer is yet to take a shot. Team basketball at its best from Bahrain. In the first couple of games, Bahrain only averaged 16 assists with 15.5 turnovers. Talked about Syria playing really well as a team in the first window. But in this first quarter, in front of their own fans in the capital, and it's Bahrain who are working it superbly as a team. 6 assists with 2 turnovers so far. Nearly an assist a minute. And here they go again, pinching it back on the press and putting it in. And despite the Syrian timeout, no rest for a team now down 7. Backdoor cut blocked off. Hardy, who started well initially, as did Syria. Bahrain was slow the first couple of minutes and put their foot on the accelerator. Syria picked up 3 comparatively early fouls as well. That's only the second on Bahrain. The points have dried up for the away team. Last score came at the 5 minutes 14-second mark, so it's now more than a 2-minute drought for Syria. See if they can stop the Rocks here. The pass out to the double, they want to try and find the open shooter. They do eventually. It's Hardy. A series of misses. What a bounce pass from Chisholm. Plenty of power and pace on it, but mishandled. That holds up the Bahraini offense, but Mosti Rashid can quicken it in an instant. Chisholm, though, will turn it over, stepping on the baseline. Off the back of those 2 big threes from Michelson, it was an 8-10 lead for Syria after 3.5 minutes. Since then, a 12-3 run over the course of around 4 minutes. Syria now close to a 3-minute drought. Al-Bashir into the game. Taking the point guard position off Hardy. That wide right, Bahrain always looking to run. Rashid held up though, Michelson taking it back. Positive attack, puts the foul on Chisholm. Earns a trip to the line. Chisholm not happy about the call. That's the name Wayne on his jersey. Devon Dwayne Chisholm, his full name. Wayne by nickname. Goes to the bench. Four points, 5 rebounds, a steal and a block. All ready for Chisholm. It's only his first foul. But he gets a breather. As do Syria, by finally ending that scoreless streak that lasted a little over 3 minutes. So passing and movement from Bahrain again. Issa spread the floor with the small lineup. Shot clock winding down, isolation offense, one more pass, three-point shot, perfectly played by Bahrain again with pinpoint precision and perfect timing. Hadji remains perfect on the perimeter at 3 of 3 now. 8 is the lead, the largest so far. A 23-point period. And a turnover on Syria. Bahrain, the first 2 games, averaged only 66.5 points. Ali Rashid with the ball is new to the lineup for this window. The number 6, lost by Issa. Michelson. Final minute of the first coming. Mashed Al-Basha. Gets it back from Nadim Issa. Issa looking to show all kinds of range. Fouled on the 3 from that far away. It's a tough one to take for Bahrain. Ali Rashid. First performance for Rashid in this qualifying campaign. Did have a minor role at the last Asia Cup. And then averaged 5.1 points and 1 steal in 16 minutes in World Cup qualifying. Miscalculation. That attempt to play solid defense leads to 3 free throws for Syria. Free throws really helping them out right now because they've been getting nothing whatsoever from the field. Only 1 of 3 on that trip. Now that's 3 points coming from the foul line. Again, they've not scored a field goal in nearly 5 minutes now. Syria's last foul to give. First on Nadim Issa. 2 Issas today, 1 for either team. Nadim is the number 6 for Syria. And Maitam the number 7 for Bahrain. .13-second shot clock differential. At the end of this first period, Bahrain by 7 have the ball. Okay, really spreading the floor on the offensive end. Back out, 3-point shot. They're creating good looks, and they're hitting the target time and time again. Hadji, 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. Bahrain have their first double-digit lead, and it's now 12 points for Hadji. Final ticks of the first quarter clock. A miss, a rebound, and what a period for the home team, Bahrain. 26 points. 4 threes for Ahmed Hadji. Shooting the lights out, and again Mustafa Mosti Rashid is yet to take a shot, and Bahrain have 26 points. They moved the ball for 8 assists on those 9 made field goals in that first period. And Syria without a field goal since before the midway point of the first quarter. After Syria had a 10-8 lead after 3.5 minutes. They only scored 6 points the next 6.5. Their last 3 coming from the foul line. Part of that beautiful ball movement for Bahrain. The big exclamation mark finish from Chisholm. And their vibrant offense is running Syria ragged. And they have a sharpshooter by the name of Ahmed Haji. (26-16) at the end of one to the home team in the capital. What a way to announce yourself on the continental qualifiers scene for Ahmed Haji. Did score 11.5 points per game over a couple of games in the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament in Puerto Rico. It was his first performance for his national team since the 2021 World Cup qualifiers. There's that courtside 1891 app. What a tool to have in your pocket for the stream schedules and scores. You can find it on your app store. Bahrain, it gets even better. They begin the second period with the ball with the 10-point lead. Ali Hassan at centre right now. Chisholm remaining on the bench. There goes Hardy. Passes out. Issa. Passes on. Going to the paint. Nice play from Syria. Flipped up and in by Hani Hadribi. The first field goal in around 6 minutes of play. So much movement again for Bahrain. That time an earned pass. They'll keep on coming, keep on moving, keep on shooting, especially from long range. An incredible shooting performance from Haji the Hitman. 5 of 5 from downtown for 11 points, the Bahrain lead. We've played only 11 minutes and he has 15 points. He's doing his Mustafa Rashid impression. It's another three. It's another three. And he can't miss right now. 6 of 6 on the outside. 18 points in the first 12 minutes. Into a pack paint goes Hardy, and he's able to convert. There's a look at those players out on the floor right now. And don't forget about Hamouda. Hamouda, such an impressive young talent. Crossover on the perimeter, Syria slicing through, coming up short, down 12. And Hamouda looking to show his athleticism as he gets away from the defense to score his first points of this campaign. It's getting better and better for Bahrain. They have more weapons to add to the arsenal. Hamouda flying past the defense and finishing. Michelson pushes back. They work it around. The shot clock is into its dying embers, and there's nowhere to go. And it's a shot clock violation from Syria, who didn't even look like they were going to get close to the perimeter, let alone the basket. Slipped in this time. Again, it's beautiful play from Bahrain, dizzying the defense and knocking them down to the deck with those downtown daggers, one after another. It's an almost unparalleled shooting display. 17 the lead, and they're flying forward again. Big, strong attack met at the rim for the 10-foot tall denial. And Hardy bounces off that defensive platform, coast to coast, all the way into the cameraman to convert. This is full-blooded, fast-paced, continental qualifying basketball. Syria doing their best to stay in the fight, but struggling to do so. They are down 17, and we've witnessed a quite remarkable shooting performance from Ahmed Haji. He's got 21 points on 7 of 7 three-point shooting. One man is beating Syria from the three-point line. Haji has 7 of Bahrain's 8 converted threes. He's 7 of 7. The rest of the team are 1 of 5. But you have to say they've created his shot so well. Really having to look to ensure that he and Mosti Rached haven't swapped jerseys before the game, because this is the kind of performance we've seen from Rached in the past. Tonight, it's coming from Haji, the 30-year-old who's not had a great deal of international experience. 17 the lead. The Bahraini number 3 has blown Syria to bits. At the moment, he's riding a hot streak like no other. But they've got 11 assists. They keep on finding him in prominent positions on the perimeter. And how about the 2 as well? A man who looks like he can't miss right now has 23 first-half points. $19 the lead. Syria struggling to keep their heads above water. Jad Al-Hajj on the bench for the first time for Bahrain as well, after switching Lebanon for Bahrain mid-campaign. Putting the ball in the hands of Haji, getting rewarded. Hamouda will finish on the reverse as he looks to play for his role in this new setup. They're scoring at will. Every trip down the floor, leading by 21. Michelson hit a couple from distance early on. Not the kind roll of the rim that Syria need right now. Hamouda kicks it out, gets it back. He's going to take a 3, and of course he's going to hit. And Bahrain have 9 as a team on 13 attempts. A young gun, adding to the veteran hitman. Hardy answers with a 2. But Syria don't quite know what's hit them. This time the handoff faked. Rached remarkably still hasn't taken a shot. Hamouda, little push shot short. It's the fact that Ahmed Haji has got all of the shots, shot the three-pointer like Mosty Rached, and Mosty Rached hasn't taken a shot. That makes you wonder if these two have somehow switched jerseys and switched bodies. Mosty Rached went 10 of 17 from downtown in one game in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament in Syria, in Damascus. And he scored 32 points. He also had a joint tournament high 28 points in this campaign in the win over the United Arab Emirates in window one, when he hit 3 threes and shot 55% from the field. On his first appearance in these qualifiers, it's Ahmed Haji who has become the man from long range. Now here is Rached, flips it overhead, looking to find those hot hands. Haji's had a little spell on the bench. That may be the only thing that will cool him down. That is now a rare defensive stop for Syria. They need a fair few more of them. Down 22, 3 minutes and change remaining in the second. It's Atley getting away. They're not just struggling on defense, they're struggling to create looks on offense. Hardy going to work, pulls it back, long range two, knocks it down. A couple of recent scores at least for Amari Hardy. That closes the gap to 20 and offers the green shoots of optimism to Syria. Timeout. 46-26 the score, with just under 3 to play in the second. Hardy now has 10 points on 5 of 8 shooting.
Then you have to exit, okay? Watch press into zone. If they go press the breaker, down, and shoot. Yeah. 3 points together. 3 points together. 1, 2, 3.
Well, these fans have witnessed something special here in the capital. A 46-point first half with 3 minutes nearly still to play for a team that had averaged only 66.5 points a game. And they've seen a 7 of 7 perimeter shooting show from Ahmed Haji. Scoop, not the score, the rebound for Chisholm, who's been on the bench for a while, only played the first just under 8 minutes of the game. They've done it without him. He comes back in, gets his first offensive rebound, his 6th rebound total, and now up to 6 points as well. Michelson. He's now firing blanks after a couple of big blows early on that had Syria up 8-10. Since then, what an insane run from Bahrain. Hamuda lost their handle, and that wasn't aware Michelson was coming from the blind spot, but taken back swiftly by Maitam Issa. Syria scored 10 of their 26 points in the first 3.5 minutes. It's only 16 points since. in around 15 minutes of play. Hamouda, a little out of control with the shot. Whistle, ultimately a turnover. It's 14 first-half assists for Bahrain as well, having averaged only 16 assists a game the first 2 games. They've done it with only 6 turnovers. Number 3 there, Ahmed Haji, is back in off the bench. It's 8 of 9 from the field, including 7 of 7 from 3 for 23 first-half points. Hardy. Could do with a couple of scores and a couple of stops to give them some kind of hope heading into the half-time locker room. Hardy on the bounce, trying to take on everybody. Tough shot on the turn, won't go. Chisholm tips it to his teammates, and they'll push the pace again, Bahrain. He wants it in the corner, far side, and he's furious it didn't come. Rashid. Mosti, will he be the man this time? No, turned over. A spin at centre court. Munu trying to get away and foul. The 3rd foul on Bahrain in this second quarter. I think Facundo Patrazzi, the Argentine head coach of Syria, will be unhappy as well that his team have only committed 1 foul in the period. It shows they've not been disruptive enough on defence. Just not been able to live with Bahrain's ball movement. And then the exterior shooting, particularly of Haji. Hardy, 5 to shoot. Wants to go one-on-one. Takes it towards the lane again. Spins, hand in his face. And he gets the bounce of the rim. Hardy, 12 points on 6 of 8 2-point shooting. Takes it down to 20 with 20 to play in the first half. He's the only man scoring right now. Did it that time over decent defense. He's got 12 of Syria's 28.
See, you receive the ball, you swing. Hand of Haji and Muslim. See, it become pop. When you are here, we overload. We have 20 seconds. Boom. High ball, see your shot. When you see Haji, you get your ball. If they go press, 1, 2, 3, 4, press ready. You are behind.
You have to give up.
Hey, here we go, man. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, come on, guys, go.
The story of Ahmed Haji in this first half keeps on getting more remarkable. He said that he played in the World Cup qualifiers for the 2023 competition back in 2021. He averaged close to 8 points. In that qualifying campaign, he shot 23% from 3. He only hit just over 1 3 a game on average. Across 9 appearances, he's got 7 in the first half of this game on perfect perimeter shooting. He would not have been on the scouting report in that regard. 8 seconds for one more shot for Bahrain. Looking to hit the half-century mark before the half. What a first half for Jad El Hadj on the Bahrain bench. Can they find one of their shooters? Can they find their super shooter? No, they can't because of the suffocating illegal defense of Adelbi. do at least have those fouls to give Syria, having not been using them perhaps as wisely as they would have wanted through the course of the quarter. So Hadji out on the floor. 1.8 to shoot. Chisholm takes the lean forward three off left. Syria some kind of win down the final stretch of quarter two, that they hold Bahrain under 50, but they trail by 20, hit by a bombardment of downtown blows from Ahmed Hadji, who's got 23 points at the half. And they all came before the midway point of the second period. He's 7 of 7 from three. And Bahrain lead 48-28 at the main break. Overall, the team are 9 of 14 from three for 64%. Syria only 2 of 11. That's the difference right now. What a big difference it is. 14 assists for Bahrain as well on their 18 made field goals. Actually 23 at the half. Nobody else more than 7 for the hosts. Hardy with 12 to lead Syria. They trail by 20. Now, after a decent start as well for the away team, and then came the shooting show from Ahmed Hadji. Syria had a 10-8 lead, 3.5 minutes in. Mahmouda then came off the bench as well, added to the offense for Bahrain. They'd gone on a brilliant run. That was a brilliant block, but it did little to stem the flow of the flood-like offense that has washed over Syria. The team shooting a 60-64-75 split for 48 points in the half, having averaged only 66.5 points a game the first 2 games in this campaign. Hadji just 1 miss en route to 23 points in 18 minutes of action. Backed up by 7 each from Mahmouda and Azam, and 6 for Wayne Chisholm, who's also got 6 rebounds, a steal and a block, and has only had to play 10.5 minutes.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Feel the momentum, swing, Jefferson. Exactly what Jordan needed.
Nice no-look dive to the reverse, and that's a beautiful play. Service, delivery, and Baba adds to his scoring tally. Rakji behind the back, throwing it up to Gyok Chan. Wizardry from Arakji.
Hachinoa finds Washington, goes in, and he misses a layup. Good defense by Kawashima. That's the penetration. What a dive. Oh, baby. Are you kidding me? Sugoi. One more time. Well, the pass came from Kawamura.
And Indy will have another 14 seconds. And the dunk and the foul. Prince attacks the basket. Pranav Prince.
Bilal, oh, lovely backdoor cut. Good read, though, by Ibrahim. Launches out the fast break. Abu Hawaz with the two-hander, but it's batted away. What defense. Sixth three-pointer night here for Chinese Taipei. Second one now for Xia. Brownlee, Magadagabi. Good night. Are you kidding me? What a throwdown by Justin Brownlee. Defense now, Demario Mayfield coming up with it. Rocky's trying to push this. They got numbers, goes up. Oh my goodness, what a rejection.
Ming Shun, right hand. Rebounded by Hawkinson. Now breaking out with speed to the right hand. Nice tip away from the bucket. Great block, great rejection.
There's the catch, there's the shot, and there's the bucket. What a hit that is. Incredible on the buzzer. Yachali with the three.
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back to Bahrain, where the fans that have shown up here in the capital have seen a special first half performance. We'll focus first on the top scorer for Syria, who trailed by 20, despite the fact that at the half, Amari Hardy, their new naturalized player for this window, has 12 points. He's been impressive, but his team have struggled. 12 points on 6 of 10 shooting for him. All 6 of those field goal makes coming on the interior, where he's 6 of 8. He's 0 of 2 on the outside. He's played 17 of the first 20 minutes. Got an assist as well and an offensive rebound and not turned the ball over once. Nothing wrong with Amari Hardy's performance. But Syria only have 28 points at the half and trail by 20. That is because of the quite remarkable shooting performance of Ahmed Haji, the Bahraini number 3, who has 23 points. Just look at that. It's not a mistake on the graphic. 7 of 7 from three-point range, 8 of 9 from the field for 23 points. He's a 30-year-old who has only played at 3 previous significant FIBA tournaments. It started in the Asia Cup qualifiers for the 2021 edition, and he only knocked down 4 threes in 4 games. He then played in qualifying for the 2023 World Cup and only shot 23% from 3, only hit 10 threes in 9 games. He then played at the Olympic qualifying tournament in Puerto Rico last year, only hit 7 threes across 2 games at 32%. Red hot for 7 first half threes in this game here tonight on his first performance of this qualifying campaign. Syria would have scouted the shooting, particularly from downtown of Mustafa Rashid. Maybe expected that kind of bombardment from him. Instead, he's not scored. Bahrain's top scorer in this campaign with 23 points a game in the first window. He's only taken one shot and missed it. Hadji has done his Mosti impression. Instead, Mosti has been the playmaker with those 5 assists, albeit with 4 turnovers. Wayne Chisholm, 6 points, 6 rebounds, a steal and a block. He's been the team's second best performer in terms of efficiency. New roles for different players under a new head coach, Jad El Hadj. Hasn't it clicked into place perfectly and instantly? The head coach who brought so much success to his home nation, Lebanon, and looking likely perhaps to do the same in this new challenge with Bahrain, becoming an instant favourite here in this country with that first half performance orchestrated by the head coach. As for Syria, their leaders in the different categories, 12 points for Hardy. We've talked about Adribi has 5 boards. Nobody else has more than 2 assists. Basha with a couple, and in fact, he's the only player who has 2 assists. They've only dished 6 as a team. Compare that to Bahrain, who've dished 14 assists. 5 from Mosti Rashid, 4 from Azam, 3 from Issa. So 3 different players for Bahrain with 3 or more assists at the half, demonstrating their brilliant team play and ball movement and off-ball movement. There's that shooting line again for Amari Hardy, but the rest of the team have struggled on offense. The entirety of the team have struggled on defense. Did have a slight improvement in that regard down the final stretch of that second quarter. In fact, that's unfair, more than a slight improvement, because Bahrain didn't score for the last 2.5 minutes of the period. Still finished on 48 points, 23 of them from Hadji. It's even more impressive than 23 points at the half for Hadji. He had 23 long before that. His last field goal was a 2-pointer, his first 2-point make of the game after he'd gone 7 of 7 from 3, and that came before the midway point of the second period. So he had 23 points in just about the first 14.5 minutes of this game. The improvement from Syria is that since then, Hadji hasn't even taken a shot. It's not that he's been missing and cooling down in that regard, he's just not been getting his spots, particularly on the perimeter. That is to the credit of the Syrian defensive adjustments. The last 3-pointer for Hadji came 3 minutes and 20 seconds into that second period. So he was 7 of 7 from 3 inside of 13.5 minutes of the game. Three of the threes coming in the first 3.5 minutes of the second period after he'd knocked down 4 in the first period. the end of the qualifying campaign and the 2 games they play against each other. This one here tonight in Bahrain and the reverse meeting in Syria in February. It is looking like Lebanon will be the team to take top spot in the group, with the United Arab Emirates bottom. So these 2 teams perhaps will be second or third, and these 2 games against each other will decipher which way around that occurs. Bahrain with a big advantage in that regard right now. They have led, I think, by as many as 26. 24 was the largest lead of the game. They started the first half slow and they finished the first half slow as well. Hardy at the line for Syria, looking to take it down to the teens. No points the last 2.5 minutes of the half for Bahrain. Came after it took them a minute and a half to score their first point in the game, and as many as 2.5 minutes to score their first field goal. In between that, in the space of 15 minutes, a flamethrower to burn Syria through the hands of Hadji. Drought for now goes on, 3 minutes without a score. And Syria might just, especially if they score here, start to believe. We saw the special shooting show from Bahrain. Syria might start to believe in the special comeback. Michelson. A nice pass through a gap. Couldn't finish on the reverse, but the piece is picked up and the ball put in by Hani Adribi. So it's only a 16-point game. They've taken 8 off the largest lead. Bahrain now, who were flooding the basket, now on a drought. But if in doubt, turn to Hadji. Insane for Bahrain. 8 of 8 from downtown for Ahmad Hadji. And then the turnover, long pass down the floor. He's going to take the 3 in transition and he puts it in. Letting it rain for Bahrain from long range. Perfect, persistent precipitation from the perimeter through the red-hot hands of Ahmad Hadji, who's 9 of 9 from downtown. Lead back to 22. We wondered if Syria had weathered the storm. They were only in the eye of it. Instead, back to the dead-eye shooting from downtown from Ahmad Hadji, so confident to pull up for the 3 on the fast break with nobody in front of him. Instead, nobody can stop him. Adribi misses. Chisholm grabbing his 7th rebound. Here he goes again, Hadji. These Syrian defenders are going to have nightmares. This time he draws the attention, passes on, east of the miss. Surely it can't be a perfect 10. He's 1 away. 29 points. Rashid. Well, even he can't go 9 of 9. He was 10 of 17 on his most impressive display, and it came against Syria. They do not want to see these Bahraini shooters. Jab step Hardy up against a big black wall of jerseys, but the outside shot falls for Syria. It's a significant one for them, for Al-Basha. Only the 3rd 3 of the game for Syria. Bahrain have now got 11 of them. And there's that shot! A perfect 10 of 10. Unbelievable. literally unbelievable from Ahmed Haji. The 30-year-old, 10 of 10 from downtown. Three-point shot, and Syria will try to trade perimeter blows, but they need defensive stops as well as big scores. Still trailing by 19. 32 points for Haji. He's tied the 32 that Mosti Rashid had against Syria in the pre-Olympic qualifying tournament in Damascus. And how about another unconscious shooting from Haji, having the game of his dreams. The game of anybody's dreams. 11 of 11 heaven for Haji. Hardy spinning back and forth, no breathing room, found a nice pass, but a shot clock violation that's celebrated by Jad Al-Hajj on the bench, just as much as the three-point makes have been. Bahrain by 22. And Haji had been quiet for 5 minutes to finish the first half. He's come back in and gone 4 of 4 from downtown. That's 11 of 11 on the night. Here he is again. This time passes on. Inside to Chisholm. He's blocked off. Maybe Haji would have taken the shot again had he had that moment. .22 the advantage. A three-pointer. Syria landing their threes now. Hardy with that one. They take it back down to the teens again. He's got 17. That's his first on the outside. They only made 2 threes in the first half. They made 3 in this quarter already. Just trying to cancel them out from this man. There's an offensive foul before he gets the shot away, and it did miss. So he shows he's human. Ahmed Haji. Just unplayable on the perimeter. I'm not sure I've ever seen anything like it. I called that game when Mustafa Rashid knocked down 10 threes against Syria in Damascus. This is 11 threes without a miss. Everybody thought 10 of 17 was as good as it gets. Issa, he misses, rebound grabbed by Atlee, and a whistle. 35 points for Haji with just 1 missed shot. Chisholm just wishing he didn't clip his fingernails this morning. Might have got that one. 4.5 to play in the third. 17 is the gap. The crazy thing is the game is not over. Hardy flips it to the corner, especially if this goes down. Instead, it's an air ball to suck the wind out of Syrian sails. On the bounce, pulls it back. Rashid, oh my goodness. That spells significant trouble for Syria if he's going to hit them as well. The first attempt on the outside for Mosti, who is usually the main marksman, and he knocks it down as if he's been in rhythm all evening. The team are now 14 of 21, 11 of them coming through the hands of Haji, added to by Issa, Hamouda, and now Rashid. Hamouda to Chisholm. There's Rashid again. He'll take another one. Misses. Chisholm, offensive rebound, foul. He's looking more and more likely to get the double-double. 9 rebounds now, his second offensive rebound. A chance at the stripe to hit 8 points. Lead back to 22. 8 and 9 now for Chisholm. Hardy. Shot clock winding down, moving away from the basket. Tough angle, good bucket. Omar Edalbi. 20 the gap, as it was at half-time 7 minutes ago. Syria improving on the offensive end, still can't stop the Bahraini sniper. Mosti Rashid draws 2, passes on. And Chisholm, the composure in the paint, sending 2 defenders away, leaving himself with the simple task of picking up the 2 and getting within 1 rebound of the double-double. They're going to play hard on each and every possession, even once the win effectively is in the bag, because of that points differential that could ultimately be pivotal come the end of the campaign between finishing top 2 or 3rd and having to play an extra qualifying tournament. Lebanon closing in on a comfortable win at the United Arab Emirates right now. 70-93 in Dubai with a couple of minutes to play. So Lebanon will move 3-0 at the top of the group. The UAE will fall to 0-3 at the bottom. These two arrived here lot level at 1-1 in the middle, with only the second place team getting a guaranteed ticket to next year's Asia Cup. Rashid, dizzying ball movement, and Chisholm. Well, he was going for everything and got fouled on his flight path. They're playing with smiles on their faces, and you can see they're having fun. Syria certainly aren't. The lead for Bahrain. 2 minutes and change remaining in the 3rd. I do wonder now if Syria are running out of time to make the run they need for the comeback, but it's important they close the gap as much as possible. And certainly not mission impossible yet. Michel Son. Hamoud of the rebounds. 12 minutes is a long time in this sport. But they've got to stop Bahrain, who are turning it on, but then turning it over. Mosti Rashid pressured into the difficult pass. He's got 7 assists to lead the team creatively. Only 1 shot has dropped for him. He's only taken 3 of them. He's been the main facilitator under Jad El Hadj. Timeout Syria. There's the line for Ahmed Haji. 11 of 11 from downtown, not a misprint. 35 points in 26 minutes, including, in true Mosti Rached fashion, pulling up for one on the fast break with a free route to the rim. 4 of 4 in this quarter after going 7 of 7 in the first half. The gap, a minute and a half to play in the third. Hardy. 3-point shot off for Hardy. It's the one thing he struggled with tonight. 1 of 4 now. He's 7 of 9 from 2. Got 21 points. We'd be talking much more about that if it wasn't for the fact that we've seen 35 from Haji over the first 3 quarters. Hamuda kicks it out. Side skip, 3-point shot. The rest of the team, percentage-wise, have struggled from downtown. Michel Son, long range 2. He's struggling with his shot now as well after a good start. Can they at least finish the period south of 20? Issa working into the big man in the middle. El Hamwi has the height advantage over anybody he plays against, but he can't make the most of it. Misses the close proximity too. Mosti Rached slows it down. 7 assists with 4 turnovers for him. Faces the Giants, pulls it back and shoots from near a centre court down the perimeter. Can't convert, nor can Hassan handle the rebound. Shot clock turned off, end of the period. Into bounds off Bahraini fingertips. Still Syria possession, 11.4 to shoot. Hardy creates a good look for an outside shooter and a chance at a 4-point play. The Bahraini player ending up by the advertising boards. Mohamed Boulay, who's not played much, committing the foul on the 3-point shot that gives Syria life heading into the 4th quarter. Nadim Issa for the 4-point play. And the deficit down from 24 to 16. And that is doable. Unlikely, but doable. And this game is not done yet. And the margin of victory might be significant come the end of the campaign as well. Bahrain 67, Syria 51 at the end of 3. Of 24 as a team for 58%. That's because Ahmed Haji is 11 of 11. And the rest of the team 3 of 13. Bahrain just continuing to bring it in each and every period. They were held up a little more so in the third, despite the 4 made threes for Haji. They only scored 19 points as a team. It's the first quarter of the game that Syria have won. They scored 23 in the period, Syria. We talked about their own 3-point shots starting to drop, including that one in the final seconds. They've It ended up being a 4-point play and closed the gap here down to 16. He only scored 28 points the first half before 23 in quarter 3. Ensuring that Bahrain have to work the full distance. In any other game with a player going 11 of 11 from 3, I'm not sure there is any other game where a player has gone 11 of 11 from 3. But if there was, I'm not sure the opponents would be close enough to mount a challenge in the fourth quarter. Syria still are. I can tell you that 11 made threes for Ahmed Haji is already a record for Continental Cup qualifiers. Still a quarter to play, and he's still yet to miss. Flicked into Chisholm. Might well set multiple records come the end of the evening. Usual 5 on the floor for Syria. They have an opportunity to close this gap even further. It's been as many as 24. Al-Hamwi pass picked off. And Hamouda in full stride, galloping down the hardwood. Chisholm finding the angle to put it in. He's now got 12 points and 9 rebounds. And it's back to 18. Syria answer back. Yet another opportunity down the floor in which they've created a quick and good look and started to find their rhythm in terms of being a set of shooters. I mentioned at the start they had a very good shooting split as a team. The first window, 53, 36, 77. They have the tools still to try and make something of this. This shot on the outside for the first time from Ahmed Haji. He falls to 11 of 12. Hardy battling his way down the left rail. Hamouda, always at full throttle, kicks it to the corner. Back-to-back misses on the outside. Maybe that turns the tide towards Syria. Instead, turning into the paint, they turn it over. They're queuing up. Here's another one. It's another miss. 11 straight makes, followed by 2 straight misses from Ahmed Haji and 1 in between from his teammates. 3 misses in a row for Bahrain, and further encouragement for Syria. The 11 of 11 before those back-to-back misses was a record for made threes without a miss until that point. That is no more. Haji now 11 of 13. But the 11 made threes is a record in continental qualification. Still time for a few more. I wonder if they'll try and work the ball into the hands of other shooters now. But Haji's long and unparalleled hot streak has cooled down. Syria struggling to take their moment to try and plant a seed of doubt into Bahrain minds. This might be it though. Grazes the wrong side of the rim. So many opportunities to get closer than 16, they don't take them. Chisholm. I wonder if Rashid will take on more shooting responsibility now. Here he is. Into Chisholm. And the foul coming across from Issa. Syria's second of the quarter. The 11 made threes for Haji, even surpassing the 10 made threes for Mosti Rashid in that pre-Olympic qualifying tournament against Syria in Damascus. Syria have to be wondering, is it us? They won't want to face Bahrain again. They have to in February. It's going to be a big challenge for Facundo Petrazzi and his team. This Bahrain shooting performance has given him a headache. There's that tiebreaker to consider, that margin of victory, and for him the margin of defeat, that they will have to try to overturn on home soil in the reverse meeting in the final window. Each and every point could prove pivotal. They're down 17, 7 to play. The game is not gone yet, but it would take something remarkable to retrieve it. Arbasha, Issa, bounce pass through a gap that was barely there, and the bounce of the ball as well for Maran, and they are back within 15. They battled back and forth to try and reduce it below 16 for a long time. They finally do. 6.5 to play. Hamouda down the right rail. Couldn't get his geometry right. So Bahrain have that breathing room. But Syria still have time, and now they have confidence as well. The flash and the finish. Bilal Atli puts it in with the excellent off-ball movement and recognition of his passer Edalbi. And a gap that was 24 is now only 13. And timeout for Jad Al-Hajj on the Bahrain bench. This gives us an opportunity to go back and check those shooting numbers. Previously for Ahmed Haji, only made 10 threes across 9 games in World Cup qualifying. He's made 11 in 1 game here tonight. Only made 7 threes in 2 games in Olympic qualifying in Puerto Rico. Only made 4 threes in 4 games in Asia Cup qualifying back in 2021. Confirmation of the double-double now for Chisholm. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Also doing his bit on defense as ever with a steal and a block. He's got a 20 efficiency. Second on the team behind Haji. And averaging 23.5 efficiency over the first 2 games. Might well get there in this one. Bahrain by 13, but Syria with momentum. And still 6 minutes. And Haji having cooled off. Chisholm into the lane, looking to draw the double, takes it one-on-one on the turn, puts it in, and the foul. Now he might be the man down the final stretch. Wayne Chisholm up to 15 and 10. Tag one more to his impressive tally. It's a big three-point play for Bahrain to alleviate the pressure that was mounting. Lead back to 16. Eight assists now to Mosti Rached. He's the game's leading facilitator. Edalbi. Three-point shot, Issa, and he lands it, and it's back to 13. 5.5 to play. Nadim Issa. That's been the difference for Syria. And one of the significant differences since half-time. They're making their threes. They might have to make a fair few more of them to complete this comeback. They might have to stop Chisholm, who's in the mood to be the closer for Bahrain, but misses that one, and Syria can get even closer. Long-range triple for Issa, hits the bottom of the net, and they're back within 10. This incredible story in the Bahraini capital tonight takes another twist. From 24 down, Syria within 10, and still nearly half the period to play. Rashid taking the ring road around the defense, kicking to the corner, but the defense so much tighter now for Syria, forcing an earned piece of footwork. They only had 6 turnovers at half-time, Bahrain. They've had a couple in this quarter. They've not hit a 3 in a while, and Issa is knocking them down for Syria. 3 for Nadim Issa in the 4th, and Syria somehow are within striking distance of Bahrain. From 24 down, Syria are within 7. Hamouda misses. Syria rebound. For so long it seemed a question of just by how many will Bahrain's big win be. Now Jad Al-Hajj's team are going to have to show their character and commitment, particularly on the defensive end. We've witnessed a shooting performance for the ages from his number 3, Ahmad Haji, hitting his first 11 threes in a row. Now we might be witnessing a comeback for the ages from Syria. Al-Bashir directing traffic. Issa has the hot hand, 3 threes already in the period, but turns it over. We haven't seen too much of Nadim Issa until this point. Chisholm ends up down. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. Hamouda, we're going to put the whole of the defense in the spin cycle. Instead, spins himself to the floor. Syria 15 points in this period already. They only had 28 points at the half. Now at 66 with still 3 minutes and 14 seconds to play. Nadim Issa, before those 3 straight threes, only had made 1 field goal in the game. He's now up to 14 points. In fact, he hardly played the first 3 quarters. He's only played 13 minutes of this game and has 14 points. Somewhat curiously, he was key to closing the game day 2 win against the UAE. Had 18 points, including 5 threes. Bahrain's 3rd foul. Syria on 3 as well. 3 minutes to play. 7-point margin. Hope that the shooting of Haji ensured you didn't turn off the broadcast and tune into a different game, because now it is well worth watching as a contest. 3-point shot, and they are back within 4. Syria unloading their own barrage of blows from downtown. And 24 has become 4. Christian Maran, the latest marksman to hit the target. And there's still 3 minutes to play. Timeout, Jad Al-Hajj. Bahrain are 50% from downtown, 14 of 28. Haven't made one in a while though. Their percentage was around 60 for so long. Syria only made 2 in the first half, They're now 10 of 24 for 42%. They've also shot 54% from 2 and 75% from the line, so they are getting to that impressive team shooting split with a late flurry. A late flurry that is jangling Bahrain nerves. Nadim Issa 4 of 5 in the game. I think he's 3 of 3 in the period. I'd have to check that. But he hadn't played much at all in the first 3 quarters. He's the difference maker. Syria a +9 in his time on court. Can Bahrain get the offense moving again? The ball is moving in multiple directions through multiple hands. Nice play around the perimeter. Who's going to take the shot though? Oh, that's ping passing in the paint. And Chisholm fouled as he takes the shot. Will go to the line for 2 high-pressured free throws now. Pinball passing from Bahrain. Chisholm was only 4 of 7 before making that one. Only 67% in the first window. How big a pair it would be. He splits them. 5 the gap, 2.5 to play. Arbasha. Moran hit the latest 3. Wants to take it at Chisholm off balance. Can't get it in, but backed up with the offensive rebound from Omar Edalbi, who's been another difference maker. 6 points for him. But they're +12 in his 21 minutes of action tonight. The best plus-minus of all Syrian players. The 24-point lead for Bahrain has become 3. Rashid off one leg, off everything. I'm not sure it even touched the rim. And those radars for Bahrain that was set so right for most of the night, now knocked significantly askew. This would be a jaw-dropping comeback from Facundo Patracci's team. They have 2 minutes in which to complete it. They've taken 21 off the deficit already. Issa shifting it on. He's been closed down more on the perimeter. Won't get backed in by his teammate Chisholm. Gobbling up everything on the glass. Now has 11 rebounds. Hamouda. A score here would be huge for Bahrain. Chisholm, their big name on the turn. Can't get the big bucket. Lost though on the baseline. Out of bounds, Bahrain ball. .71 seconds to now decide the outcome. We said it was possible still. Syria were down 20 at the half. Not sure we really believed it would happen. Hamouda into the lane. Can't put it in despite an excellent position in the paint. And Bahrain a chance to get within a whisker or maybe even tie. Syria already on 4 fouls. Now Bahrain, the 4th on Hadji. Nobody thought when he was 11 of 11 from downtown that we'd be worrying about him fouling out. And the outcome of the result come the end of the evening. That's the position Bahrain are in now. 74-71 at the timeout with 53.5 to play. Be the only player in any kind of foul trouble for Syria. Bahrain have Hadji on 4. Chisholm and Azam on 3. They forget about that right now. You play hard until the end of the game or until you hit the foul limit. Syria a chance to tie or get within 1. Get the ball in, under pressure. The handoff Maran, dropped, recovered. 9 to shoot. Ball in the hands of Hardy. Hardy trying to get past Hamouda and does. Looking to run over the defense, can't convert, wants a foul, so to the coach. They get nothing, and Bahrain get the ball. And a conversion here would come close to killing the comeback. They'll take their time, 15-second differential. Into the paint, into a wall, taking the attention of the defense and offering the open option for the shooter, Suba Azam. From mid-range in Manama to finish this masterpiece, perhaps. Nine for Azam. And Bahraini fans were celebrating the win earlier. Looks like they might be again. What a super assist that was for Mike Tamisa. His 4th of the game. And the 23rd of the game for Bahrain. On 27 made field goals. It's not just been about the shooting of Hadji. He hasn't taken a shot since those 2 misses after he started 11 of 11 from 3. 12 of 15 from the field altogether, 35 points already. A continental qualifiers record for 11 made threes. He was already there before the end of the 3rd quarter. Bahrain have had to turn to other options. They've had to show their steel to try and repel this remarkable Syrian fight back. Syria from 24 down, got within 3, but Bahrain back up by 5. 18.5 seconds to play. A quick foul from Hamouda, and in fact, no, the turnover. Well, Bahrain were looking to apply pressure on the inbounds. And Syria were looking for a pair of free throws, which would have been a good outcome for them with only 17 seconds to play. Instead, they turn it over. And now Bahrain can just hold on to the ball. Syria have to foul. And they're not doing so. Chisholm can't convert, but Syria out of time. And Bahrain go second in the group at 2-1. Jad Al-Hajj starts with a win on the bench. And he's looking to chase down his old team, Lebanon, at the top of the group. Syria failed to chase down Bahrain, having trailed by 24, got as close as 3. On an evening on which Ahmad Haji set a new continental qualifiers record with 11 made threes for his 35 points. Not far off half Bahrain's output of 76 as they win it by 5. These two teams will go again in Syria in February, and now the margin that Syria have to bridge is only 5 points for their head-to-head tiebreaker. It looked at one stage this evening like not only the win was out of sight, but so too the possibility of winning that head-to-head, even with another meeting to come on their home soil. But now they still have that opportunity. As for Bahrain, well, they're celebrating the win, pressure relieved. An incredible first half in his first game. Maybe a bit of disappointment come the end of it, that they don't have that huge margin to take to Syria in February. But they do have the thing that matters the most, the home court W in the capital. The team making more threes than twos in the end. 14 of 28, 11 of them from Haji. Syria winning the rebounding battle, but did commit 6 extra turnovers through the course of the game. For Bahrain, in the end, 23 assists with only 10 turnovers. What a night in Manama. Stay with us as we look back at the story of this incredible evening. We'll wrap it up with the fourth quarter highlights. Wayne Chisholm finishing with 17 points, 12 rebounds and an efficiency of 22. The second best of all players in the game. Amari Hardy on his Syria debut in this campaign had 21 points to lead them. They'll turn to Nadim Issa in the fourth period. Hit a series of threes that brought them back from the brink, but Syria just fall short. And they fall to 1 and 2, with Bahrain rising to 2 and 1. Issa finishing with 14 points. Syria finishing 5 points short. 8 of their 10 made threes coming in the second half, many of them in the fourth period. They battled until the finish line, but Bahrain got there for the win. Chisholm, the inevitable double-double performance. The big shot to finish it for Bahrain came from an unlikely source, with Suba Azam knocking down the mid-range 2 after a fantastic feed from Maitam Issa. Slightly earlier in this group, Lebanon got a win to go top of the group at 3-0. United Arab Emirates falling to 0-3 at the bottom. So Bahrain versus Syria is the battle for second, and that guaranteed ticket to next year's Asia Cup. The third place team will go into an extra qualifying campaign where 4 of the 6 third place finishers will make it through. It's been a pleasure having your company for this one. We'll see you next time.